Look for something positive in each day, even if some days you have to look a little harder. Join me today as I cook dinner and do a little cleaning for a typical evening routine in our house. Welcome to my channel. I am so happy you are here. I'm starting off by preheating the oven. I know most of you are in summer mode, not using your ovens at all these days, but here in New England, our weather can be really unpredictable. Some days it's 60, other days it's 90, and today it barely hit 70, so it was a little bit on the chilly side for us, but I'm still gonna make a typical summer meal that we enjoy quite often throughout the summer. Starting off with a sweet potato. I absolutely love sweet potato. If you ask me, it's probably my favorite food. I'm cutting it in like 1-inch rounds, and then I'm going to season it with olive oil and a little bit of an Italian seasoning packet. I don't use the whole packet, I just use maybe a third of it, if that. You don't need too much to get a good flavor on the sweet potatoes. Then I am going to use our cast iron pan. It is basically like a grill, but today I was starting dinner before my husband got home from work. So it was just easier for me to do all of this in the kitchen as opposed to trying to do it actually on the grill. I had one seasoning packet that was already open, so I used the rest of that and it just wasn't enough. So I grabbed the last one that I had here in my seasoning cabinet, and I'm just gonna use a little bit more from this packet and then save the rest for next week, probably when we make the same meal, because over the last few weeks I have been making this meal on repeat. This was the last packet in the box, so I am gonna leave the box out on the counter so I remember to add it to my grocery list for the end of this week. I just put everything here in this clear container. I'm shaking it up really well to get the olive oil and seasoning on all of the sweet potatoes, and then I'm going to get them cooking. This is the cast iron pan that I'm going to use to create grill marks on the sweet potato. We love this pan. We use it all the time. It works so great and allows us to have grilled food all year round. These sweet potatoes can take a little bit to cook through, especially if you cut them too thick. So when you cut them up, try to cut them in thin slices so they'll cook a little quicker. If you're using an actual grill, you don't want to cut them too thin though, because we have done that before to try to help them cook faster and then they fell through the grates. So just keep that in mind. So I'm going to just let them cook up here a little bit, really just to get those grill marks, and then I'm going to stick them in the oven to finish cooking. Now moving on to cleaning the dishes. I always clean the dishes as I go. Those sweet potatoes are going to take a little bit of time to cook up, so I have plenty of time in between to get the dishes cleaned that are in the sink. Every day my son and I have a shake in the afternoon, so you will see the Vitamix here that I have to clean. This is the best way for me to get some vegetables into my son every single day. I add either spinach, kale, I've done cauliflower rice, butternut squash. There's so many different options of vegetables that you can add to a shake. And for me, my son loves shakes, so he will drink it basically any way that I make it. So I use the opportunity to jam pack his vegetables, so I know that he is getting at least one vegetable every single day. Do you typically clean your dishes as you're cooking, or do you just pile everything in the sink and then clean all the dishes all at once after you have completely cooked and eaten dinner with your family? Leave a comment down below. I'd love to know. I'm getting out the sheet pan and some parchment paper to put on the sheet pan, so then I have one less dish to clean after the sweet potatoes are all cooked in the oven. I always crumple the parchment paper because then it takes out that curve from it being in the roll and allows it to lay flat, so I can easily lie all of the sweet potatoes. To go with the sweet potatoes, I am going to have one of these turkey Bubba burgers. They are frozen burgers. They are my favorite frozen burger. If you have not tried them, I highly recommend them. They make turkey, regular beef burgers, and they have the best veggie burgers I have had for a frozen veggie burger. So definitely give them a try. I love all of them. Right now, we just have the turkey burgers on hand, so that's what I'm gonna use. After I cook the sweet potatoes, I'm gonna cook the turkey burger on the same pan. My son will not eat a turkey burger, so I'm just gonna make him a chicken patty. We don't have any more chicken nuggets, and we just have chicken patty, so I figured I could just make him one, cut it all up. He ate the whole chicken patty. He was apparently so hungry. I think he's definitely going through a growth spurt. I just cook these up, and if I make him chicken nuggets, I always use the air fryer to cook it up. It's just nice and easy, and also one less thing I really have to worry about as I'm cooking dinner, since he definitely won't eat a turkey burger. This is my son. His name is Luca. He is 2 years old. He was just sitting here playing in this cabinet. There's nothing that he can break in here, so it's not really a big deal for me to allow him to play in there while I'm cooking. And he was reading the options of juices you can make with the juicer I showed at the end of my last Sunday reset. If you are interested in a juicer, it worked so great. They sent me a pretty pink one. It's so cute, and we've used it a few times now and have been absolutely loving it. Even my son will drink the juices too, so it's a great way to get in some more nutrients for a very picky toddler. He always gets like really hungry right at the time that we typically eat dinner, so he right now is kind of complaining that I'm taking too long to cook. So I always like to start him with a fruit. I call it his fruitizer, so that he has something to munch on while I'm getting dinner completely cooked. Since I was cutting those up, I figured I would just cut the avocado in half here too for my dinner. The sweet potatoes are now in the oven. I'm going to use the same pan to cook up my turkey burger. Again, just an easy way, one less dish that I have to clean as I'm going here. Now I'm just going to clean the few dishes that we have been using along the way, since the turkey burger will take a little bit to completely cook up. I always clean as I go. It is just the easiest way for me to cook dinner, and I don't sit still very well either. So I guess I have a little bit of ADD, just functions better if I just keep myself moving the entire time that I am cooking dinner. I noticed a few things were low, the soap dispenser and also the olive oil containers. So I'm just gonna get those all refilled here while I'm waiting for the turkey burger to cook, and my son is over there enjoying his grapes. We just sit and chat basically the whole time that I'm cooking. He is watching a little show too. He doesn't always watch a show while I cook. Sometimes though, he'll bring me the remote and ask for me to put something on. So this day he did want me to put on, he's been really enjoying this super cute show. It's called Trash Truck on Netflix. We just recently found it a couple days ago and it is so cute. So if you are looking for a show for your toddler, we highly recommend that one. My son has been enjoying it a lot. My son's new thing is to pull his chair over here and stand with me as I'm cooking. He just wants to spend time with me and I love it so much. So one thing that I like to do in my videos is give you guys some motivation and encouragement. I found this cute little saying. It says, whenever you feel discouraged, remember you are the center of the universe to your tiny humans. You are kind of a big deal. So as you're cooking dinner, cleaning up, trying to get things done, the small little time that we have here in the evenings with our kids, just keep that reminder in your mind that you are everything to your kids and they just want to spend time with you. That is the most important thing. So as you're running around all busy trying to get these things done, don't forget that they see you as their whole world and enjoy every second that you can with them. The clip that you saw me in and out of the refrigerator, I just wanted to mention that typically during the evenings as I'm cooking, I always do a once over of the fridge to see if there's anything in there that needs to be cleaned up. I just find it so easy to do that throughout the week to make sure that the fridge stays clean, nothing in there gets too old, and it just makes my whole Sunday reset routine so much easier to not get behind on all of that. It also allows me to take a mental note of what I'll have for lunch. So this night I actually should have made another turkey burger because I didn't end up having anything left over for myself for lunch. So I ended up just making a pretty simple sandwich, but I do really like to have for lunch leftovers. So I would have and should have made 2 turkey burgers this night, one for me to have tonight and then the other for me to have as lunch tomorrow. And then I could have had some more of the sweet potatoes as well. My husband does not like me cooking up the burgers for him as he's usually driving home while we're cooking. And then as we are sitting down for dinner, he's usually walking in and he prefers to just make it himself when he gets in. He doesn't like to eat dinner as early as we do. So he'll usually sit with us and just chat and maybe he'll have some sweet potatoes or something. And then later on, he'll make himself a burger. That just works for us. It is kind of strange. It's a family dinner type of style with a little bit of a twist. So for my turkey burger, I always put barbecue sauce on top. I put the avocado on top and then some of the everything bagel seasoning. I don't usually do a bun. I just like to eat it like this right off the plate with a side of sweet potatoes. So this is kind of a twist on burgers and fries. We have eaten dinner as a family and now I am going to clean up the rest of the kitchen. I'm going to get the sweet potatoes packed in the refrigerator so we can have them either later or tomorrow for lunch. I did end up having them the next day for lunch. My son never completely finishes his dinner. I don't know why he was carrying it around. He doesn't typically do that. Usually he just leaves it on his little table. And then later on, he'll go back to his plate and munch some more. He's like a typical kid. I feel like they graze more than they enjoy sitting down and having a full meal all at once. So I guess he was a little annoyed with me that I was cleaning, but my husband was in the living room waiting to play with him. So he was talking to him, telling him to go and play with him so I could finish up and get everything cleaned. And then he did end up finishing his entire plate a couple minutes later. Well, I guess I should say like a half hour. He came back and finished his plate. Now I'm going to clean up the rest of the dishes. I guess I do dishes a couple times throughout the evening as I am making dinner, but it is no big deal for me at all, as like I said, I don't sit still very well, so I much prefer having something to do as I'm waiting for things to get cooked up. This doesn't always go as smoothly as tonight's did. Sometimes there are meals that you make that just are more consuming, like you have to stir them the entire time, or you have to be at the stove, you can't leave or it will burn type of thing. So this doesn't always happen as smoothly, just depends on what I'm cooking. But majority of the time I am able to wash dishes in between and then do whatever needs to be done at the end of making dinner. This week was a different week for us. It was very busy, a little bit hectic. We had a lot of things going on during the weekend and throughout the week this week. So we didn't end up having time to go to the grocery store. So I'm sure you'll notice that this week you didn't get a Sunday reset like you have been over the last, I don't know, maybe month, 2 months. I've been doing one pretty much once a week and you all seem to really be enjoying them. I absolutely love making them, so I do plan to continue to make them and would like to post at least one once a week if I can. This week, like I said, we didn't end up making it to the grocery store. So I was curious if you would be interested in me making a video of what a week of not going to the grocery store would look like for us. It would be like a no budget week, no grocery store needed type of week. I have plenty of options in my house to be able to get us through the entire week as like backup meals or things that we just typically have on hand that I was able to just become a little bit creative throughout this week. And I made a dinner every single night this week using what we had in the refrigerator in the pantry already. This is a great thing to do if you have a lot of stuff that you need to use up. And like I said, just helps you with your budget too, to not have to spend money at the grocery store for a week. So if that is something you'd be interested in me making a video about, please leave a comment down below letting me know. I would be so happy to do that, as it is something we do not like super frequently, but every so often, and would be easy for me to show you how you could do that for your family as well. After dinner, we typically do all of my son's like healthcare maintenance type stuff. So I give him his vitamins. I never remember to do it in the morning. Our mornings are very crazy, but I always remember to do it after dinner. So that's just what works for me. and we clip his nails and do any of that kind of thing as we're thinking about getting ready to do his bath and his whole bedtime routine. I didn't show you any of that, but I figured I would just let you know what a typical evening looks like for us. After this clip, there's going to be a clip that I filmed showing you one of the products that we use during that routine for my son. I hope it is something that is so helpful for you and your family as it has been for us. So since I won't have an opportunity to say thank you so much for watching this video and all of your support and coming back and watching my videos, if you are new here, I hope you do consider subscribing. I post new videos every Tuesday and Friday. I hope you're getting lots of homemaking motivation and you always leave here feeling like you've just been hanging out with a friend. Today I wanted to share with you this ear otoscope. It is from ScopeAround, this same company that sent me this spin brush that I use in almost all of my videos recently. Also makes this product and asked me if I want. Of course, I'm going to try it out because the spin brush is like my favorite tool right now. I use it all the time, and if you have not yet, you will definitely see it in upcoming videos as well. It is so handy. So they also make this ear tool called an otoscope. I just left it all in this box that it came in. I just feel like it's the easiest way to store it, make sure that it stays clean and all that. It also does come with some alcohol wipes and some Q-tips so you can clean it very well as well, since it's going to go into your ear. I'm not going to show you in my ear. Oh, that like skews me out a little bit. I can't even watch my husband do his ear. I don't want to see that. I can watch my 2-year-olds and do my 2-year-old's ear, which I would love to be able to show you guys us doing his ear, because I feel like this product is most valuable for me with my 2-year-old son. He suffered terribly from, I don't know, maybe like 6 months old till basically his first year, for months with terrible ear infections. He was getting them every other week. I'm assuming it was probably the same ear infection. We were just having trouble clearing it up with the antibiotics that we were getting from his pediatrician. So if we had a tool like this, I feel like it would have been super helpful for me to be able to look in there and see the ear infection and to keep track of it. So this tool here, let me just explain. You'll plug it into your phone, which I also can't show you because I do all of my filming on my phone, just the easiest thing for me for doing these videos for you. So you just plug it into your phone, and then in the little instruction manual, it has one of these QR codes you can just scan, or you can look up the app on the App Store and you just use the app. Plug this in and it will bring you to a camera section where you would put this into your ear. It has a light, it comes with stability, clear detection. You can move around 360 degrees, see all inside your ear or inside your kids' ears, and be able to also take images and record the video of it. You can save it in the app, so then next time you want to go look at their ears again, you can also do a dual screen where you can see what their ear looks like currently and compare it to what their ears looked like a couple days ago or a week ago. If you want to see, now that they're on the antibiotics, you did go to the pediatrician, they were diagnosed with an ear infection, and you want to see if it's cleared up. That was always one of my biggest concerns too, was that I could never see inside of his ear. I would just get like the symptoms of him tugging on his ear, or he'd obviously get a fever, which was really challenging at that time too, because a lot of kids, when they're growing their teeth at that young, get fevers as well. So it just made it a very confusing, worrisome, struggling time for us as we were trying to figure out, is it because of his teeth, which I do think it was. I think the teeth were going in, which was causing the fluid. And then as they're growing, and you know at that age, they're growing like every single day, there's a little tube behind the ear that kind of falls out of place. It's supposed to be straight up, but it kind of like disconnects in a way. So then the fluid sits there. It has no way to drain because that tube isn't straight. So to have a tool like this would have come in such handy. And I especially loved this one because it comes with these 3 speculas. Comes with 3 of these, so you can just put it on here and it stops you from going too deep into the ear. So that's also a concern with these, is that you're going to put it in too far and puncture your eardrum, especially when you're going in trying to look at your kids. That's a huge concern. So to have this is just so helpful, and one of the best features that they could have included in a tool like this. So I just keep everything here in the box. Another thing that they do come with is the cleaning. It's like a little spatula. You can get in there and clean out the earwax. That was one thing too that his pediatrician, while he was looking at his ears, said that he had a lot of earwax buildup, so he had to struggle a little bit, get the earwax cleaned out before he was able to look in and see the ear infection. So for me to be able to do this from home is just so fantastic. It just makes my life so much easier. I don't have to worry so much about his ears. We can get in there, we can clean them, we can monitor them, make sure that his ears are healthy. He's doing so well, if you're wondering. He's now 2, almost 2.5. We haven't struggled with ear infections. We did go to ENT. They cleared his ears. They did say because of how many ear infections he had over the period of time, he was eligible for tubes. I wasn't personally very comfortable with tubes. I've known people and kids that I grew up with had tubes. I know it's so common, but it just makes me a little worried. Like, what is your body trying to tell you or tell us that's naturally happening? Is there something that we can do to help him instead of like going in surgically and trying to fix it? I feel like that young of age, like your body's naturally trying to tell you something, and there's got to be a better solution. So we had talked to a lot of friends of ours over many, many months, and we do have really close friends that are chiropractors, and a lot of our friends had done this with their kids too, brought their kids to chiropractors, and they're able to adjust the ears, which helps that tube to kind of go back in line, so then the drainage can start to happen. So he regularly sees the chiropractor. It has helped tremendously. I am not a physician, so make your own judgment on this if this is the route you would want to go with your child. But I'm just letting you know, if you are struggling with this and have the same feelings of me, wanting to find something a little bit more natural to help your kids with these ear infections, you may want to see and do a lot of studying and researching on chiropractors, because not all chiropractors are the same either. My husband and I see these chiropractors too, so that's why we're a little bit more comfortable with it. But just wanted to put it out there, if you are searching for an answer like we were, I'm sure there are other parents out there who are struggling with the same thing. So to get a tool like this will be one step to help you to be able to better monitor and understand your children's ear health as well as your own. I will have a link for the product in my description bar down below if you want to check it out.